Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition. We must be over 100 by now. Another edition of Rob's Little Boo Book. So I'm kind of excited about tonight. This idea came from my son Finn. We had ramen the other day. We were talking about Asian street food, and he mentioned that there is only one street food stall that has ever won a Michelin star, and it is a stall in, I think originally Hong Kong. Owned by a guy named Hawker Chan, who does a Hong Kong soy sauce chicken. So this is a traditional street food in Hong Kong, and you see it all over Toronto too. If you go to Chinatown, you can see those dark chickens that are hanging in the windows of Chinese restaurants, takeout. But he had his own particular spin on it, I guess. He has a secret spice blend, which we're going to talk about as we go through the night. But I want to show you guys a couple things. I have two cool things today, and since we're talking about spices and Chinese spices, one of the things that, hey Nick, I wanted to show you guys, and I think I'm going to lead with that, is how to make a spice blend. So you can buy Chinese 5-spice powder, and I get mine from the Silk Road, which is this mail order place in Calgary, I think. They're somewhere in Alberta. Wonderful people, fantastic spices. But as good as they are, they're never going to be as good as a fresh blend that you make yourself. So I don't make a lot of spice blends. I think, well, actually that's not true. I make tons. So 5-spice powder is a Chinese one. Garam masala I use for Indian cooking. I have a Mexican spice blend I use for Mexican cooking. So I thought I'd show you guys how to do that really quick. It's very straightforward, and it leads us right into the first cool thing. So I finally got around to getting a spice grinder. This is so it turns out spice grinders and coffee grinders are kind of the same. You cannot use a burr grinder for spices, and you shouldn't use your coffee grinder or your spice grinder for coffee. So this is a blade grinder, and I don't use these for coffee because they don't really give you a consistent grind. But for spices, this is supposed to be great. So we're going to try that out tonight. And I have my, so 5-spice powder is fennel, cinnamon, star anise, cloves, and Szechuan peppercorns. And the first thing we're going to do is, I don't want this actually, is we're going to toast those up, and it doesn't take very long. We toasted spices a million times in this channel. And then we're going to grind them up. And so I have about equal amounts of these. I weighed these out. It's about, I like mine balanced. Now you can, the nice thing about this is you can kind of make it your own. If you want like a more cinnamon, I wouldn't go too heavy on cloves, really, but anything else you can weight this any way you want. So, and then the one thing I'm going to add to, mine. No, I'm going to save that for the secret spice. Okay, so this just takes a couple minutes. So, any questions? This I know this is really straightforward, but this is something that you should probably get in the habit of doing. It's super easy to do. And the other nice thing is you can make this up a little bit at a time, right? Whole spices keep way longer than dried spices. And one thing I am going to do here, guys, is I noticed my cinnamon's a little big here. I'm just going to give this break that up a little bit. Well, that's the other cool thing, which we'll get to in a second. How's everybody's week going? Oh, hi, Serena. Serena beat me to the punch there. Oh. Yeah, Nick, the week seems to be lasting just about forever. Okay, so you can start to see we're getting our first puff of smoke off these guys. Maybe you can't see, but I can. I'm just gonna let this go like a little bit. I'm just doing this by smell, guys. They get very fragrant. Smells amazing, actually. Maybe a little bit longer. And I kind of feel like that is enough. So let's get these in the grinder. Oh, probably a better way to do this. Ooh, I have no idea what the capacity of this grinder is, but I'll bet you this is pretty close to it. All right, everybody get in there. I'm going to, that's not actually that loud. Is that really loud? I'm gonna kill the mic while I do this. Okay, I'm back, and wow, this did a fantastic job. I'm really impressed, actually. It just vaporized everything, even the cinnamon sticks. See how easy it is to clean later. But okay, so I highly recommend that. This was really cheap too, guys. I got this for like $30 or something on Amazon. Put a link in the description below. Actually, I won't. Anyway, there you go. So, really happy with that. Any questions? I know it's really straightforward, but this is a really, and if you could smell this here, you would understand how different it is than, like, this is good quality 5-spice powder. This isn't like, you know, this didn't come from Loblaws. It's not shit. This came from a really great spice vendor, but it doesn't smell anywhere close to what this is. Nice, fragrant, fresh spice. Maybe we'll even use a bit of that tonight. Okay. Sorry, I got my like TV time on. Okay. Let's get on with it. I do want to. Hey, Ellie. No shortage of Loblaws shade here. Just to recap, Ellie, real quick. We made our own Chinese 5-spice blend. Highly recommend you do this. It's really easy. Just toast up the spices and you blitz them in the cool thing for this week, which was this little spice grinder, which I got. Okay. Welcome, by the way. I'm going to go into the other cool thing before I forget, because I always forget to mention them. So, as you guys know, I have been using, especially for Asian cooking, but I've been using this a fair bit to, it is, Ellie. You'll see what we're going to use that for in a sec. It's also one of the ingredients in the 5-spice. So, I've been very much enjoying using this for pretty much everything. But this is for vegetables. This is a prep cleaver. You can use it on like light meat, but you don't want to cut through bone and stuff like with this. This is, you'll nick the blade. It's not designed for that. However, this is, I don't know if you guys can see, like if you look at the difference in the thickness here, bring it up. Can I do that? And this is significant. This is probably 3 or 4 times heavier than that. This is for bones. This will go through anything. This is what you see street food vendors, if you get like a char siu or a duck at TMT or whatever, chop, they just blitz through everything. That's what this is for. We get to do that later. Really happy with this as well. It's the same company as this. It was really inexpensive, and I'm just thrilled with both these tools. Okay, so let's get on with the Hong Kong chicken. Yeah, this is the murder one, and this is the, this is the light duty. Maybe you go after the family pets with this one or something. I don't know. Okay, we have our chicken here, and try and get a small chicken. When you're buying chickens, in general, it's not that smaller is better, but smaller for most cooking things is better. This is a 3-pound chicken. Now, unfortunately, they're harder to buy these days because the restaurants and Kentucky Fried Chicken, they just scoop up all the small chickens. But Loblaws had a special. Yes, I did get it from Loblaws. We'll see if it's good. But honestly, the Loblaws gets the Maple Leaf chickens are the same as everything else. So one thing you can get from Loblaws, the only thing I get at Loblaws these days are their loss leaders. Because I know they sell them at a loss, so I'm quite happy to cause them financial pain. You know, it's minor, but I do what I can. So the first trick, and you know, we're all about technique here. The first trick is we're gonna braise this chicken. So basically a Hong Kong soy sauce chicken is chicken that's braised in a soy broth. But one of the things we wanna do first is we wanna prep this. And the way you prep it is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but the skin on Hong Kong chicken is nice and tight and it doesn't get crispy, but it stays close to the meat. And there's a trick to that, which we're gonna do right now. And it is really simply, and it also renders some of the fat out of the skin, and it's simply blanching the skin. So I have, grab this guy by the leg. So I have a big pot of boiling water here, and if you guys, hopefully you can see, you'll just watch the skin contract. It'll just, yeah, there we go. And it just shrinks up. You don't need a lot. We're just, and this just tightens up all the skin around the meat. It renders out a bit of the fat, which is kind of nice. And you can just, I don't know if, hopefully you can see it. It just tightens up everything. It makes our chicken, and it really gives it a nice appearance. This also helps it take on the amazing color that you're going to see as we go through this. Wow, it's really hot. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. So our chicken is, yeah, much better already. And we're actually just going to use this pan as we keep going. I'm going to dry because I'm going to put some oil in here. So you'll see, another tip too, guys, you'll see if you do some research into this, and one of the reasons I chose this dish, because it's kind of the mood I've been in this week, the last couple weeks, is the chicken is served whole, and the Chinese will serve it with the head on a big platter, and I'll show you guys how to plate it at the end. But the reason they serve the whole chicken, because you could do this with chicken parts, you could buy like thighs or quarters or whatever, but I think it's important to use the whole chicken, because the whole chicken symbolizes perfection and prosperity, and it's a family dish, and I would like to I'm going to, for me personally, expand that out to family to community. I think this is a communal dish. I plan on making this for everybody at some point. It's wonderful, but it's a dish for your community. This is something you can cook for everybody, and it's really easy to do, so anybody can do this. Okay, enough of that. Let's get on with. Oh, we got a little bit of prep to do. We got a little bit of prep. Any questions? Okay, so in this dish we are going to use ginger. Probably this bit of ginger here. If your ginger's clean, guys, you don't need to peel it. I'm just gonna square this up to make it easier to cut. But you know, don't fuss with it too much. We want about an ounce of ginger, which in this case is going to be about that many slices. Again, we're just making a broth, so you don't need to, actually probably one more slice. One more slice. Okay, and we're going to put those aside. You know what, I'm going to put them in here. Let's do that. Keep everything nice and orderly. One of the reasons I love cooking with this, or prepping with this, is it's a scoop, right? Okay, we got some green onions. Don't need this many. I need about, you know, we're making a broth here, so amounts aren't super critical. I'm giving you the amounts that will work for doing like one small chicken. So, I mean, you could do like 4 of these in a giant Dutch oven with a whole bunch of broth. It would be just fine. We're going to use the whole green onion. And what else do I want? What else? Oh, shallots. I'm going to use probably, use one shallot, I think. You could use an onion here. And you could also, so what you see in terms of spices is kind of what goes in. Now, Hawker Chan, who won the Michelin star, said he had a secret spice blend that he honed over, or, you know, perfected over the years. And I don't know, I don't know what it could be. I got out my flavor matrix, which is up behind me, and did some research. So some of the things that you could be, and here's the wonderful thing about this dish, because this is a family community dish. You can take this base recipe, which we're doing tonight, and come up with your own, you know, your own secret ingredient. And you don't need a Michelin star. I don't need a Michelin star, but it would be nice to have like your own version for your community, your family, whoever they are. And I'm using family in terms of both the family that you had and the family that you choose, which are equally important. So yeah, make it your own. So some of the things you could add, lemongrass wouldn't be out of place here if you wanted to make that a secret ingredient. Throw them, if anybody has any ideas for like secret spice ingredients, you could just wander up and down the Asian file. Like a fermented bean curd wouldn't be out of place. What else could you use? I don't know. I mean, there's got to be stuff, right? Okay, now I want to smack the star anise. I'm going to cheat a little bit and just do it in a towel here because I don't want to be picking it up. MSG is not necessary, but you know what you could use, Sabrina, instead of MSG is the shiitake mushroom powder. Do you remember that from the other stream the other night when we did, I don't remember who we did it with, but I was grating the mushrooms. There we go. Yeah. You could do that. I don't know that I would put straight MSG in this dish because it's a braise, and we're going to concentrate the sauce down at the end, and it might get a little strong. But yeah, the dried shiitake mushrooms would be good. Anyway, there's a million different things you could pick. Pick a unique flavor that you like and make this dish your own. We're going to do the base tonight. Oh, we're not actually. Here, so my secret ingredient right now, I'm going to try tonight, is long pepper. This is a relative of the peppercorn. It is not a peppercorn, and I'm not exactly sure of its origin. This was a gift from Rebecca, and I've used it a couple times, and I'm going to use it tonight. This is going to be my secret ingredient. I'm just going to give this a whack with that. Yeah. See, I should have done it in the towel. Anyway, so this is going to go in. We're going to just toast that up. That's going to go in my broth too. So there you go. I've got my secret ingredient. You guys got to figure out your own. Man, we don't need this anymore for now. How's that doing? Let's see. Okay. Any questions? But we're just going to go right into this. And sorry, I'm going to have to TV time this tonight, guys. I'm going to show you how to get this chicken going and prepped. And then we're going to, as always, put it on the back burner. And I have one that I made earlier, which I have not tried. I saved it for the taste test. So let's get going here. So what we're going to do is we're going to briefly heat up some oil here. Yeah. So you want to pick a pot that is going to hold your chicken nice and close, because you don't want to have to put a ton of liquid in. I used my best pot that's behind me, so we're going to hopefully it's going to fit in this one. And when this oil is at temperature, we're going to get something to mix stuff around, and we're going to start with the ginger. And this all goes in relatively quickly. You do want to kind of do it in this order just based on the ingredients. So we're going to go ginger, shallots, then the star anise, and then the green onion, and we're going to wait about like 30 seconds, maybe to a minute between each. Also, this is, depending on what you're cooking on, this is a very, very, very hot burner. So it'll probably go a little bit quicker. This is a colorful dish. At least the prep is colorful, and the chicken does take on an amazing color at the end. You'll see. Wow, that is way too high. There we go. But this is a fun dish to prep. You're right. The colors are nice. Yeah, that's in about 30 seconds. What I say next was shallots. So I wouldn't use a wok for this, because a wok flares out so much that you would have when you tuck the chicken in. I mean, you could prep your vegetables in the wok and then put them in a pot after. I'm trying to like cut down a little bit on the cleanup, so I'm just going to do it all in one pot. You could also fry these up in a frying pan or whatever, but you do want to pick a pot that has relatively close sides around your chicken. Okay, now spices. That was our star anise and long pepper. And we just want to put a little toast on the spices. And I have seen, when I was doing research on this, I sort of researched a whole bunch of recipes and pared it down to this base recipe. I wanted to show you guys, because I want you to make it your own, I wanted to show you the base recipe that you can add to. So some recipes actually just call for straight up adding 5-spice powder, which you could certainly do, but I'd like a little more control over the dish, which will surprise nobody. And then we're just going to do our shallots for a sec, and then get into the liquid ingredients. It smells incredible, Ellie. It's really, really great. Okay, so next up, we have Shaoxing wine. This is the Chinese cooking wine, and you want about 6 tablespoons. There's about that much. Now it smells incredible. Okay, and then next up is going to be soy sauce. So this is light soy. And light soy, regular soy, guys, is the same thing. And we're going to use dark soy as well. So light soy is like, and I want 12 ounces. I know that seems like a lot. If you can get your soy in a Asian market, it's way better and way cheaper. But I want like 12 ounces. So this is a cup and a half of the dark, the light. There we go. Now it's a little quieter. And we want, so dark soy we're going to use for 2 reasons. It gives a wonderful, not syrupy, deeper soy flavor. And I'm going to use about 4 ounces of this. Again, you can adjust this for whatever your taste is. I like a very soy forward dish, so I'm going to use about that much. But this also gives the color to the chicken, and you'll see how that goes in just a sec. And then we want to add about I'm going to start with 2 cups of water, and then just bring it to a boil before the chicken goes in. So I'm just going to take the hot water, save us some time, off the kettle. What else do I want to put in here? I think I'm going to put in a little, like just a dash of sesame oil. Oh, another. So then I thought of another possibility for the. Yeah, just sesame oil is very strong, so you can be a little light-handed with it. Another possible specialty ingredient would be like Chinese black vinegar. Could also be one of the secret spices. I'm not going to use it tonight, but I pulled it out because I thought maybe that would be one of them. Oh, and it's also sweet, guys. So if you can get rock sugar, I would throw about 3 ounces of rock sugar in this. I don't have any. I'm just going to go with about 3 ounces of brown sugar. This also helps with the sort of molasses caramelization flavor. And we're just going to bring this to a boil. That's exactly it. So Serena, you're smelling mainly the, you're smelling both the soy and the star anise. And actually, Serena and I both, it was interesting. She thought it was heating up pizza. One of the things this dish smells like is, yeah, it's pepperoni. Serena's right. And she's exactly right. It smells a little bit like pepperoni. I don't know whether that's just like the cured meat smell or what, but make some room here. But it's definitely a dish that will make your home smell amazing and welcoming and family oriented. And I'm on that kick lately. So, which I think is an okay kick to be on, right? Like, community is really important. It's really important to me. Okay, so we're just going to get this guy to a boil and hopefully it doesn't overflow. And then I got to figure out what to do with it. How's this one doing? This is my back burner one, which you guys can't see. All right, well, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Okay, so this is now at a boil. Going to turn this all the way down. Let's get our chicken in here. So I'm just using you can lower it in whatever you want. So you do have to be a little bit careful. You don't want it careful like that. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna clean that up. There's another what not to do. But the point I was trying to make, which I have now achieved, is you don't want an air cavity. There's a couple things you gotta be mindful of, and it's just a food safety thing. So you don't want an air cavity, you don't want air pooling inside the cavity of the chicken. And at the same time, after this is brought up to temperature, you also kind of want to make sure that you release the liquid out of the cavity because it'll be cooler than the rest of the chicken. And I also wish I had put this in upside down. I kind of want this guy flipped over. There we go. And already you can, so you can sort of start to see the color where already the skin, and if you don't blanch it, it won't take on this color. And I want it fully submerged. So I'm actually gonna top this off with a little more water. Yeah, doesn't it? I agree, Callie. So it might be, if you had a tall narrow pot, almost like one of those pasta pots, it would be ideal for this because then you wouldn't be spraying yourself with liquid all the time. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the sink for now. Really made a mess here, but it's all right. Okay, so any questions? This is the prep. Oh, and the cooking time. So you want to cook this, you want to bring it back to which I'm going to do now. Bring it back to a simmer. That'll take about 5 to 10 minutes. And then cook it another 25 minutes, maybe even half an hour. Take it off the heat and let it sit in the liquid for 15 minutes. Then it's done. So this is a braise, but it doesn't take, it's not like short ribs that have to go in for hours. This only takes, you can do this in less than an hour. In fact, you could probably cook this entire dish start to finish in just under an hour, which, is okay for a weeknight. The chicken does have a suntan. All right. Putting this place back together. Now I gotta figure it out. So now I'm gonna swap. So I have one already here. And we're going to do the old switcheroo. Okay, that goes up. This one comes back. Oh, my poor burner. Give me a sec, guys. We need that burner too. Give me 2 seconds just to... Ooh, that's really hot. Now, I'm going to caramelize it. Okay. So this is one, and I'm going to take it out now. Then we're going to make the sauce. So this one's ready to go. It actually looks quite hot. It is very hot. And I'm going to flip it this way. And there's your final color. So I'm going to let this cool slightly over here while we make the sauce. We probably have enough room. Okay, so for the sauce, we're going to use the cooking liquid, and I'll show you another technique because I like my Asian sauces a little on the thick side. So let's just spoon a little bit of this in here. You can also, by the way, you can also save this cooking liquid for other things. In fact, I'm going to saute and use it to saute some baby bok choy for Serena after stream. Just a little bit more maybe. Okay. And then while this comes up, so here's how we're going to do this. So I want a little bowl. I've got my whisk, running out of room here. And we are going to go for, you can use cornstarch or potato starch for this. As you know, I have gotten into the habit of using potato starch these days for my thickener. And you want about 2 tablespoons of it, which is about that much. Now, when you're making a slurry, you have to use cold water in your starches. You can't just pour it into the sauce. It'll just clump up and make a huge mess. So I want 4 tablespoons of water in with this. And I'm just going to whisk that and whisk it till it mixes. And you have to, it kind of has to go in right away. If I let this sit on the counter, the starch will settle on the bottom, which is another technique. And I would use that super saturated starch for something else. We're not doing that tonight. I'll explain another time. And also, I don't want this boiling. I'm going to turn the heat actually off for a sec. I don't want to I want it off the boil. And there we go. Okay. Hopefully this thickens up. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see this thicken up like nearly instantly. And you can add more if you want a slightly thicker sauce. But this seems to be getting to where I want it to go. So you guys can see the texture, right? Nice. I don't want a paste. I don't want like what's the goo that comes with the lemon chicken, the chicken ball things, sweet and sour chicken. Is that what it is? That lemon. You don't want it. I mean, maybe you do want it that thick. I don't want it that thick. Nope, that's perfect. That's exactly where I want it to be. I'm gonna put that aside. Get rid of this guy. And get rid of this. Make sure my chicken's actually boiling. Okay. Any questions before we plate this? Oh, there is a question. I wanted to say, yeah, that's the one, Ellie, with one of Serena's favorites, actually. Okay, so now we want to plate this, and I'm gonna actually got a platter. This is obviously way too. Oh, you can't see. Let's put the platter on this side. Can I work on the left side? Maybe. There we go. I'm used to my cutting board this way. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. So now to cut these guys up. This is not how we have. Did my lens fog up? What is going on? Does that look bright to you guys? Or did I just completely lose all my... Let's make me smaller for a sec. Hang on. Oh, okay. I'll go over there for a sec. Okay. Okay. Maybe it's just my eyes. So this is not like any chicken we've taken apart before. And this is not how you would do most chickens. I think. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to cut it completely in half. Chicken bones are soft, guys. You don't need a giant cleaver to do this. You could just do this with a chef's knife. So we're going to cut it completely in half. And then from this side... Oh, wow, the wing just fell off. There we go. We'll take the wing off. Come on. There we go. And the idea for the presentation is to kind of put it on the platter... in the same shape as the chicken, to sort of show the completeness. And we're gonna get to that in a sec. Our breast with the skin all came off. That's too bad. Again, we'll take this chicken off. I'm gonna split the wing. There. Then, where'd my other leg go? Oh, it's here. Again, the leg just kind of... Don't be shy about just going through everything. Now these guys, the breasts, just get split like this. And I am just, hang on guys, swimming in liquid. I don't have a cutting tray that, okay. So now we're gonna do the breast, and the breast, again, we're not taking these off the bone or anything, it's all part of it. Just about 1 inch pieces. And then again, this goes here. In the same place it would be on a chicken. And this is the other breast. Yeah, we're just going like through everything here. I'll bring us down the platter a bit. Okay, and then again the legs, just split them like that. And with legs, guys, you just take the drumstick in one hand and just run right down through the joint. Really, really easy. The thighs, that would be there. I'm just gonna tuck the drumstick up there. You can also split the drumstick if you want. Probably not going to bother. I got, as you can see, you guys can't see, I am wearing a good chunk of this chicken. But even the drumstick, you can just go right down through it. And we've got our chicken all laid out. Let me get rid of this. Do a little cleanup here. So we got our platter. Let's clean up the rim a little bit. And then we would just take our amazing sauce and all over everything. And you can see the sauce just coat everything. Well, that's probably enough sauce actually, so I got too much sauce. I'll save that for something else. Okay. There you go, guys. This is Hong Kong chicken. Hong Kong soy sauce chicken. I'm going to try it. I got a knife and fork here somewhere. Well, maybe I don't. Thought I did. All right, well, I'll use these. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't take a long time to put together. Now, I'm a sucker for breast meat, so I'm gonna start there. So, wow. It tastes really good. Really, really good. I would serve this with rice. You could serve it with noodles. You could serve it with sauteed bok choy, like I'm going to do for Serena later. But it is just divine. I'm really pleased, guys. Wow. And although I really do like the big cleaver, you don't have to have one to do this dish, obviously. I kind of just bought it because I wanted it and I thought it was cool. And I will use it, like I take apart bigger cuts of meat. You guys probably don't. But there you go. I don't know what else to tell you. It tastes really, really good. I kind of want to find a piece of dark meat to see what the thighs like, but it's kind of hard to get in there. You know what? Pardon my fingers, guys, but let's just get in there. If Paul's out there, he'll remember this from or eating chicken with your fingers we used to get when we were working together as contractors. We'd get Swiss chalet for lunch and just eat them out of the containers with our hands, like a half chicken, just anyway. Yeah, this is fantastic. Really, really good. So, any questions? I feel like that one pretty quick, but this is comfort food, and you guys saw this from start to finish. This is very simple. You know, if you just take out the 25 minutes in between on the stovetop, you could do this. So a bok choy would be, you know what? You could serve this with mashed potatoes. Like, go fusion. Basically anything that's going to soak up the sauce. You could do it with roasted root vegetables. You could serve this with your traditional carrots, potatoes, even roasted mushrooms, whatever. It is really good, Nick. I'm really pleased with the way this turned out, and I'm just going to keep eating a little bit of it. So good. Okay, before I eat it all, yeah. I don't want to tell you. Really happy, guys. Really happy. Okay, so we didn't talk about next week. No, 2 weeks from now. But I'm going to figure something else out. If you guys have suggestions, everybody knows me. Send me a message on Facebook or however you reach out to me. And I'm happy to entertain suggestions. I now, because I'm down to every 2 weeks, I have a long list of things I want to do. I'm going to get back into pasta. I can do whatever you want. So, in any case, we're getting out 45 minutes. This might be the fastest stream ever. So, thank you for joining me. Guys, it's a pleasure doing this with you and for you. Everybody have an amazing couple of weeks, and we'll see you next time.